Hello, and thank you for joining me for Hennepin County's first ever virtual State of the County. We're so glad you took the time to be here with us. I'm Marion Green, Chair of the Hennepin County Board and Commissioner for District 3. Although this address will look and feel different from those of the past, it's more important than ever to connect and to recognize the importance of our collective public service and community welfare. I'm hoping that in this short time, in this virtual environment, we're able to do that together. Joining me are Hennepin County Commissioners Mike Opat from District 1, who also serves as Vice Chair, Irene Fernando from District 2, Angela Conley from District 4, Debbie Gattell from District 5, Jan Callison from District 6, and Jeff Johnson from District 7. Hennepin County Sheriff David Hutchinson and County Attorney Mike Freeman are also tuned in. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for our work together. I also want to thank all our partners, many of whom are here in attendance, mayors and council members from our 45 cities, leadership and educators from our 22 school districts, partners at nonprofit agencies, regional organizations like the watershed districts and chambers of commerce, volunteer organizations, our many business and community leaders, and partners from other counties. I want to thank Governor Walz, Lieutenant Governor Flanagan, and our state legislators throughout the county for their leadership and partnership. And my sincere gratitude to the county staff who contributed to the production of this video and address. In a year of firsts, I'm continually impressed by the innovative spirit of our staff and community partners. Since the county's emergency declaration in March, COVID-19 has changed nearly every aspect of our daily lives. As the largest regional safety net provider in the state, Hennepin County understands the disruptions caused by this virus, and we see that our most vulnerable residents bear the brunt of this. Yet, as we move into a future that is changing its shape before us, Hennepin County continues offering a wide breadth of support programs. The county is here for you. And Hennepin County is not alone. We have all heard and been a part of stories of resilience, of neighborly support, and communities coming together to care for one another. Thank you, county residents, for all that you are doing to keep yourself, your families, and your communities safe and healthy. Relatedly, an emphatic note of gratitude and awe to county staff who have nimbly adjusted and innovated to ensure minimal disruption to resident services. And that's what I would like to emphasize first today, the county's on-the-ground, everyday work, the welfare and vibrancy of our residents, and an illustration of the continued pursuit of the county's both immediate and long-term goals. Let's take a quick look together at the work underway on these 4 priorities: our COVID-19 response, housing investment, climate action leadership, and first and foremost, race equity. The county's race equity and disparity reduction work has long preceded the murder of George Floyd, but his death has reminded us and around the world that we have much farther to go. Thank you again for being here. I'll be back with more after.
Disparity reduction work is everyone's job at Hennepin County. In our county, inequities exist in education, employment, health, housing, income, justice, and transportation. And these disparities are starkest between our residents of color and their white counterparts. There are thousands of county staff who are committed to advancing equity, and each day they work diligently to address the many challenges our residents face. The people we serve remain at the center of our work. By reducing the disparities they face, we address the racism in the system. The county's disparity work is proactive, intentional, and comprehensive. The use of data analytics has been key to informing and evaluating the effectiveness of our efforts.
Across the county, in many ways, Hennepin County is does very well. We have a very high standard of living. We do very well on a lot of economic indicators, on different measures of well-being. But once you start to peel that back, we definitely can see disparities that exist by race. And we see that at both the county level and sometimes it's much more pronounced when we look at a community or neighborhood level. Our hope is that by building these type of data and analytics capabilities, we can better monitor the county's efforts about what we're doing to reduce disparity and better serve our residents, both through the more efficient use of taxpayer dollars and ultimately the more effective delivery of county services.
The creation of the Race Equity Advisory Council will continue to strengthen the county's resolve and goal of reducing disparities.
And what I'm really looking forward to as part of this council is really harnessing all of the expertise and all the different perspectives and backgrounds of this council. We have so many different diverse team members. So I'm really looking forward to getting to know everyone a little bit more and harnessing all of the energy that we have at the table to begin to work towards advising the board on some of their race equity initiatives.
I'm looking forward to being a community resource for the Hennepin County Commission Board and being there to address and give our perspective.
The same way that we look back at generations before us and judge their successes or failures, I know that 30 years from now, people will be looking at our work and judging our successes, our failures, and our compromises. And I really want to make sure that I'm a part of building an equitable future so they judge as well.
Hennepin County has distributed close to 1 million masks to the community members, and we've also tested over 7,000 people at 60 different testing events across the county.
Our COVID testing is available to everyone. It's free. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and we want to ensure that people are getting tested to ensure that we stop the spread of the virus.
Free testing events are very important for people who don't have access to regular health care, especially in an area like this where there's a lot of low-income families. Not all testing is free, so it's a nice weight to lift off of people's shoulders.
In order to address the health disparities in our communities of color and look at racism as a public health crisis, we're going into the communities and doing mass distribution and testing and COVID education, because we know that COVID has hit communities of color a lot harder than the community as a whole. So that's our focus. And in collaborating, we can work together to make sure that those needs are met.
Our partnership with the county has been now stronger than before. These days have been crazy for our community. So yeah, it means a lot for us.
It's been really nice to be able to distribute masks to our community because, our core mission is to serve our residents. And it's a way that we're able to provide and fulfill a need of our residents, at the same time really build that relationship with them.
They are grateful because they have something less to worry about.
I think it's important for people to feel like they have an option to feel safe and feel responsible for their health. It could sometimes be daunting to think about this pandemic and not feel like you have a way to address any concerns that you may have.
We were already facing an affordable housing challenge in Hennepin County before COVID-19. We know that of people with the lowest incomes, 4 out of 5 of those households were already living paycheck to paycheck, paying more than 30% of their income toward housing costs every single month. In the last 6 months, it's just gotten so much worse. Thousands have lost their jobs and weren't even able to get unemployment insurance and haven't been able to pay their rent for months.
I did the math, and then I thought about it like, if my paycheck's gonna be short, how can I be able to provide for my family and rent and everything?
The governor's eviction moratorium is protecting people from losing their housing this year. We're grateful for that protection. However, we're terribly concerned about what happens when the moratorium lifts. To meet this need, the county has allocated more than $23 million of assistance for emergency housing help.
So basically, when I filled out the application in June, they got back to me late July and told me that they was gonna pay August rent. And what that did for me is that made me mentally get my calculator out and kind of budget, how can I make sure September, October, and November, I don't have to worry about anything. I only have 2 kids and 1 month really helped me out.
When COVID-19 hit, we were so concerned about folks in shelter. So we worked really, really quickly to set up 2 responses. The first step was we set up protective housing at our area hotels. Protective housing is are beds that are set aside for people who are at high risk of complications from COVID-19.
And my experience here, for the way they got it set up, it's a safe place for one thing. I'm 73 years old. It's not wild. Everybody pretty much get along. Staff, I'm not just saying this, it's true. They're really trying to help you.
This is an opportunity for guests to be able to get those resources in a centrally located area, and to be able to get the helps that they may not be able to seek on their own or know what they need at that point, and just really meeting people where they're at.
Our aim with all of this work is that we come out of the pandemic even stronger than we were before, that we use this tragedy to bring us to a stronger place. We'll do that by making sure that every single senior who was homeless now has permanent housing. We'll do that by making sure that Hennepin County residents don't have rent arrears going into 2021. We'll do that by having even stronger relationships with rental property owners than we did before.
Hennepin County is pursuing a climate action plan to reduce risks posed to our residents, our infrastructure, and our natural resources from climate change. Our climate action plan is intended to provide a framework for a coordinated approach to achieve greater resilience by cutting greenhouse gas emissions and adapting to a wetter and warmer climate. To develop this plan, we conducted research and developed a climate vulnerability assessment and a greenhouse gas emission inventory. We then reached out to Hennepin County cities, watersheds, organizations, park districts, and other regional and state units of government to learn about their priorities for climate work and opportunities for collaboration. We are now shifting our efforts to conduct a broader external engagement to involve community groups, businesses, and foundations. Hennepin County's priorities for this plan are to protect and engage people, especially our most vulnerable communities, protect our buildings, roads, infrastructure, and natural resources, deliver services in times of disruption, reduce emissions in ways that align with core county functions and priorities, and finally, to partner in ways that can be most impactful. Hennepin County is already leading in several climate change areas. To support emission reduction, the county will further evaluate ways to reduce vehicle miles traveled in Hennepin County and throughout the region by advancing the build-out of planned transit routes, including the line that we're on, Southwest LRT, this morning, continuing investment in transit-oriented development, conserving energy in our buildings, planting more trees, adding bike lanes on our roadways, transitioning to an electric fleet for our passenger cars, expanding the use of green infrastructure, and encouraging waste prevention efforts. Today, as we're responding to coronavirus and social unrest stemming from structural racism, it is apparent that building a more resilient county not only helps us to adapt to a changing climate, but helps us to reduce racial disparities and safeguards our residents, economy, infrastructure, and environment.
I hope you are as energized as I am seeing this work unfold. A special thank you to everyone sharing their stories and their contributions. I chose to include these examples to begin to tell the story of the county's work and our crucial collaborations with community partners. These examples represent key contributions to and are emblematic of the current state of the county. I wanted to demonstrate how we are imbuing every facet of our work with a consideration of race equity and disparity reduction. My goal in sharing a part of the county's response to the COVID-19 pandemic is to reiterate to you that the county is here to serve our residents and our region through thick and through thin. Testing is one piece of numerous county efforts to support residents through this pandemic. Since the emergency declaration in March, Hennepin County has allocated nearly all of its $221 million federal CARES dollars for rental assistance, housing stability, small business assistance, health and wellness, food support, student connectivity, and for safe and secure elections. As a board, we've advocated that all our response and outreach efforts address the well-documented inequity of the impacts of this disease in our communities. Another initiative has been our creation of a COVID response task force to provide rapid response for long-term care facilities, including testing, education, and infection prevention and control resources. Together, we have accomplished important improvements in a short amount of time, including improving processes for PPE procurement, enhancing testing capability for long-term care staff and residents, identifying and controlling facility outbreaks, and leveraging this success into a partnership with the National Association of County and City Health Officials to strengthen infection prevention and control in counties across the nation. I would especially like to thank my colleague and Vice Chair, Commissioner Mike Opat, for his passion in this area. Another hallmark of this year has been the interplay of numerous societal issues exacerbated and brought even more to the fore by the COVID-19 pandemic. The ongoing housing crisis in our region is one example. We are all acutely aware of the impact on our residents, and the county and its partners are stepping up. Since April, the county has worked with our shelter providers and local hotels to provide CDC-compliant protective housing for residents experiencing homelessness. Additionally, the county significantly expanded the number of beds in our shelter system, including over the last 6 months funding almost 100,000 nights of safe shelter in hotels for residents in need. By providing rooms for elderly, unsheltered residents and other people who are more susceptible to COVID-19, we have avoided the significant spread of disease among people experiencing homelessness that has impacted other counties and major cities. The county leads housing efforts through the lens of disparity reduction and race equity. Housing and shelter are another reflection of disparities by race. Because of the championship of Commissioner Angela Conley, and in collaboration with numerous local partners, we are investing in more culturally specific shelters to better meet the needs of our unhoused residents. As of this week, 3 new culturally specific shelters are about to begin serving residents. But we know that temporary shelter is not going to solve this crisis. The county continues to heavily invest in the development of affordable housing, including playing a new for us role of first-in funder for projects to encourage the development of more affordable housing units that also meet the specific needs of our residents. We saw the significant impact this strategy can have with the Exodus 2.0 project, led by Catholic Charities. With the county's first-in commitment of $5 million to the project, Catholic Charities leveraged additional funding and expects to begin construction by the end of year on 203 units of very affordable, supportive housing specifically designated for people experiencing chronic homelessness who have medical challenges and need additional support. I want to thank Commissioner Mike Opat, for his specific championship of this project, Commissioner Jeff Johnson for his long-time commitment to improving the way the county evaluates programs and measures the impact, not just the output, investments have on people's lives, and Commissioner Irene Fernando for leading us towards this innovative first-in approach. My goal in sharing a snapshot of the county's work to address climate change is to reiterate to you 2 things. 1, that the county is looking to the future, and 2, that the county can't do this work without you. The county is here to lead, understands that we can't lose sight of the future while responding to the needs of the present, and knows we're all in this together. I want to thank Commissioner Debbie Gattell for the energy, no pun intended, that she has brought to the county's climate action plan. While the climate action plan is in development, there are myriad ways that the county is demonstrating its commitment to the environment. We partner with the Metropolitan Council to build out the region's transit system, notably the Green and Blue Line extensions and Orange Line BRT. We invest in the tree canopy as part of infrastructure, identifying hotspots in Hennepin County that would particularly benefit from more trees. We're reassessing our vehicle fleet and gradually shifting to shared and electric vehicles, and fewer vehicles overall. We know that long-term investment in climate resilience is important for all of us, but especially for communities of color and low-income residents who, again, are disproportionately impacted by the negative effects of climate change now and stand to be further affected by the impacts we will see over the coming years. Now more than ever, community voices are fundamental to how we govern. With the pace of technology change, particularly the advent and prevalence of smart communications, residents expect to communicate more directly with us, and the county wants to learn directly from residents' lived experiences. 3 years ago, we officially invested in community engagement as a practice across all our lines of business. Since that time, we have grown that group of employees to more than 100 professionals from across our organization, dedicated to improving our ability to listen and engage with community. We've created a leadership development program focused on preparing upcoming leaders to use engagement as a tool for policy development. And we've implemented cross-county culturally specific teams to drive better outcomes to reduce disparities, have greater community ownership, and build better understanding of why and how services need to change and develop for our communities facing the starkest disparities. I'd like to thank Commissioner Jan Callison for championing this crucial work. Over the course of the last year, Hennepin County and our community as a whole experienced change at a rapid pace. With no precedent to reference, county leadership and staff have crafted entirely new systems to conduct business and provide needed services to our residents. This is a testament to the commitment and compassion with which every Hennepin County employee approaches their work. It has also been possible in no small part because of the foundation laid by the steadfast leadership of my retiring colleagues, Commissioners Opat, Callison, and Johnson. To these three, I give a sincere and resounding thank you for your service. Your legacies will serve us for years to come. As we move forward, my goal is to preserve Hennepin County government as a source of collaboration, consistency, and innovation for our community partners and local jurisdictions, and most importantly, a pillar of support, stability, and humanity for our residents. My colleagues and I will continue to govern with courage, compassion, and vision for a future where every Hennepin County resident has the opportunity to thrive. The last 7 months have been a trial, and we will continue to be tested, but the state of the county is strong. I am confident that our commitment to each other and to the welfare of everyone in our community will continue to serve as a steady foundation and source of leadership as we face the future together. Thank you again.